Good morning. This is Kula Dula coming at you live here for our pre-market show. Welcome. Let's quickly talk about today. I was looking at our previous all-time highs to be tested. That's going to be 574 on SPY. It was a nice breakout yesterday. Talked about this being a directional day yesterday, either a very highly contained, a very highly contained area, or we're going to see a breakout, and we did get the breakout. So, taking a look at this, are we about to get a false breakout? I think it has potential to be a false breakout. I think you need to be cognizant of these levels. And then let's talk about this. So, no lower for me than 573 would be uh, bullish still. Okay, so you need to maybe if I'll show you in a second where we're looking, but if we start breaking under 573, you can almost bet that we're going to be heading down to 570. Okay, but if we hold this level, especially our daily 4 moving average here on trend, we'll see this thing potentially hold and maybe make a recovery into our previous high. So we're going to look at this, break it down a little bit more. What we were targeting was the low here. In addition to that, testing our previous all-time high. If we roll this over, I haven't done this yet. Yep, came right down to it. Came and toe tapped this. Now, will we get a pullback past that? Well, it's absolutely possible. We're looking at a head and shoulders now, returning us back down towards this 572 range. 572 is a liquidity, and I know I talked about 573 earlier. I'm talking about an actual candle close, okay? So if we start looking at this, we have our liquidity right here at 572. That would be if we flipped over a 1 minute. You're going to see that 572, we start seeing some liquidity. In addition to that, we do have our previous all-time high. So this is the new previous, but prior to that, with the false breaks, we're looking at 572. So closing below that would indicate another false break on this level and probably bring some serious pain. So let's see at where we close today on that. But these were our 2 levels here that we were watching. This is the 574.72. In addition to that, right at 575. Both those got swept pre-market. I think we'll open up and we'll sweep those. I think we'll probably open near 574.72. If we have a say 15-minute candle close below 575, realistically it's really tight here. Okay, it's super tight, but if we do get a close below here, it would not surprise me to see us move down towards this 572 swipe right here at 572.56, and then potentially move into this 570. If we swipe this 570 here, I don't find us necessarily just dumping, but it has a possibility. Okay, it has a possibility. I think I would be buying into this and let it prove that it can get below 570 for me. Let's take a look at SPY's gamma here. You're gonna see that SPY has a put dominated condition today. It's virtually neutral. If you take a look at the net gex here, virtually neutral today. You're going to see that our bumpers were between 579 and 575. This is our gex supply. We're now below 575 or right near it. So basically what options are telling us is that we should buy the dip into 575. If it breaks below it, then by all means, take a look at those all-time highs right here at 574.72. So virtually what this is telling us is buy the dip. We're looking to go as high as 579, potentially 580 today. We have a nice little staircase all the way up to 583 today. I highly doubt that happens today. I really do. But I could be in for an awakening. I think that we're more than likely we're looking for a really good CPI, and we didn't really get that. Okay, let me pull this over real quick. What we what we got was a really big pop in jobless claims, right? Continuing jobless claims, and then initial jobless claims, right? We got a good pop on it. So previous report was at 225. That increased by almost 10% here, looking at 258. It increased our 4-week average. So both of those are going to be bearish. Some might say it's bullish because of the macro conditions we're looking at. It's not. It's not at all. Not anymore. That is very bearish. The most bullish thing you can see here is real earnings. We're seeing this. So virtually what this is showing us is that companies are focusing on profit, and we're seeing that get contracted there. So that's pretty bullish as well. Core CPI, we're seeing virtually flat. Their forecast was 0.2. Doesn't really matter. We're staying at 0.3 month over month, so flat on that. It is what it is. Core CPI year over year, we're seeing an uptick slightly. So that would be bearish as well. When you start looking at CPI, non-core CPI, virtually see an actual year over year decrease in CPI. So this would be bullish at this point, and then this is flat right here. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I went through and kind of highlighted them. It's virtually a little bit, it favors a little bit more bearish from what we got on here as far as the report. But for me, I think that, we really have to focus on options today, and look at that. Again, just want to emphasize that we have this open interest all the way down to 570 today, but 575 is definitely going to be a tough wall to beat today, a really tough wall. So it's more so by the dip type of style for me here. Now, for our strategy, that doesn't work unless we get into this range and maybe we build something where we can establish a floor, right? So I'm not interested in doing this until I see 575 swept. Once I see 575 swept, then I'll consider it. But I need to see it's bounced off of this level. I want nothing to do with it in the middle of this, because your range as of right now would stand to be this right here. As this climbs prior to opening, you start getting in the middle of the range, right? So when you're looking to make a play, you're looking to do it here, and you're looking to do it, down towards this level. You're not looking to really get into a position right here in the middle. If you do, that's where you're going to lose money, guaranteed, right? Unless you're just doing a quick scalp. So both our targets there. Let's take a look at Tesla real quick. Tesla's event today, I believe. We're kind of seeing a nice little pop over the drop of yesterday's close. For me, when you see this type of setup where you have a consolidation, a run on it, and then a reversal in pre-market, this generally will run towards the high. So I'm watching, for me, if you're looking for a scalp at open, you're looking for a call maintaining 239.52, but if you're trying to be tight on it, 241.03, you're looking for this thing to run up towards 245. Watch for this thing to run up towards 245. A bonus would likely be 246.29, and then all the way up to 247. I think when we start looking at our when we start looking at the options here on Tesla, again, 240, 250 bumpers here. We'll see if it wants to break outside of that. I highly doubt it. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot of people on Tesla that are going to likely get chopped in this area. For me, you could start to see that your range is developing here, right? And I think you'll probably close here. So you're seeing that 250 and 240, and look at where we've been trading, right? So that's where GEX supply and GEX demand here. So until we break outside of this range, you're not really interested in it unless you're looking for small little plays. But as we are in this range, we talk about kind of risk versus reward. You start looking at this right here, and you're getting into that area where it makes sense to go for a call for 245 and do that. So that's kind of where we're looking at. Don't expect a huge move. until you start getting outside of this 250 range, and then you can start eyeing 260. But wouldn't surprise me to see you pop over the top of these highs here, this liquidity, and get dropped at 252 there, 250, This is a previous breakdown. NVDA here, let's take a look. So opening up near a low here. If we get a press underneath these levels, 131.38, I have 131.26 as the neckline breakout here. So watch for a swipe of that and then a bounce off of that range there. Okay. So maybe we push off of here and recover, trying to make a run back towards that 133 to 135 range. If we get to this range and we see a continuation of a sell through this range, your targets are going to be 130.85, 129.45, and all the way down to 127. Now, do options support that? Actually, they do. 127 is the GEX demand here. So this is a pretty wide range. But you're going to see that we're seeing a pretty large put actually near 127, drawing us into that range. They're looking for that gap fill here. I think it has that potential to have that head and shoulders here. Wrong tool. Have that head and shoulders here and get that push down towards 127. So keep an eye on that. See what that looks like for you guys. If you, like I said, if you do see that recovery here, you want to see something built on it before trying to make that run up towards that. But if you do see a 15-minute close, a 15-minute candle close below 131.26, my guess is you're going to be aiming for these targets that we went over, and we'll see what happens. Just to put this out there, your gap closes at 135.75. And 136.15. Huge gap right here. Untested untested gap, really. Nice little gap up, and really didn't even push down that much. But we'll see what happens here, if this is going to bounce off this level or we find ourselves pushing down and closing this gap. Tesla's little daily here. We had an attempt at 265 several times, and at this point we might go and visit. Let's take a look at this on a simple moving average, right? So we're getting our simple moving average here. We're actually below our simple moving daily 20 here. Let me remove this. This is not necessarily, I would consider this almost like a coiling spot, right? So if you're looking at this and you start seeing a break like we're talking about out of this 252, 240 range, if you break out of that 240 range, I do think that you're probably revisiting back into this little demand area here near 225 to 230 to 225. And potentially all the way back down towards this gap fill at 210. Kind of depends on what this looks like. Some people I've noticed are calling it a cup and handle here. I mean, it's got potential, but I think your launching area is going to be off of this this demand area here, where you maybe find that drop and then you might see that move. So wait to see maybe a strong buy down here, followed by some type of squeeze, people looking to short it, and then you can look for that upwards momentum up towards this range. If the market wants to continue. You can see that on our swing meter here, we do see a relative pullback here amongst the market, but we do see that SPY is still continuing to hang up in this range. Normally, this would be what we consider coiling in RSI, when we see that the price is maintaining, but we're seeing stocks or the RSI pull back. So this would give me an indication that we're more than likely to to go higher here when the rest of the market picks up after tech has been propping us for the last few. So That is going to be my analysis for today on Tesla, NVDA, and SPY. I think that it is relative to understand that our VIX is still elevated, okay? And we're near all-time highs. So there's no, to me, when you see when you see VIX higher, then you say, where we've been at, chill, right? This is where you need to know that there's risk involved, and maybe you do see this thing pull back, and it wouldn't be a surprise, right? It would not be a surprise. The VIX is there to show that premiums are going to be up because it is at a high risk of being pulled back. So don't think it's full bull yet, because the VIX doesn't believe it. So anyways, that's going to be that. Hey, look, I want to talk about something real quick while I got you on here. If you guys don't really understand the market, you're trying to learn it, you like the content and the way that we trade, take a look at OptionScalps. This is going to be at wap.com/OptionScalps. You can also visit us on OptionScalps.com. This is going to be our VIP program, runs for $14.99 a week. We also have our monthly and annual with a 2-day free trial. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. If you do follow us on those, we do put out promo codes occasionally, and you can catch yourself maybe a free week or even a free month. So gives you access to our indicator, our monthly technical analysis training, live trades, and our actual real-time trade alerts. So if you're interested in that, go take a look at that. If not, no big deal. Come take a look at our free community. Come in there and join up and see what we're about. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll catch you later.